some of the themes I'm going to look at today are about growth, both like personal, spiritual, and motherhood as well. Like if you've seen me perform before, I just can't stop talking about motherhood, even though I'm not mum. I'm not sure why that is, but I think motherhood is such a beautiful thing. So, and yeah, and another one is also like combating the negative self. So not letting the negative self dictate your entire life. So yeah. Right. The setting sun that instills fear in me is the one of my soul amongst the loneliest of seas. See, fear is not tasting the colours of the sky's afterglow, because the anticipation of the dark succeeded my need to be seated in those pigments of hope the sky left. I left feeling cheated by my fear. So I told myself that tomorrow, missing the Eden of this freedom would not be repeated. Missing the Eden of this freedom would not be repeated. Missing the Eden of this freedom would not be repeated. Okay, I think I remember this one from the top of my head, so give it a shot. So this one is called Words My Worth. So it's a poem I wrote because there was a time where I would write a poem and then I'd be like, throw it in, you know, and reflecting as I got older, I realized that I was really just throwing parts of me away and that wasn't cool. So yeah, this is a poem, just kind of a dialogue between a former self and a current self. Yeah. You used to be laughably insecure about your own poems. You doubted your words' worth as if your words weren't worth being heard in his grave, when your words' worth would have been singing your praise. How your words were these epics belting out of an elfin girl in an enormous world. That you spoke with troubled pleasures because you took pleasure in turning your troubles into letters. How you checkmate your woes in an emotional game of checkers. But alas, I know. Back then I didn't check myself, instead I wrecked myself. Indeed you did. In fact, you convinced yourself your words were absurd, even deleted your best works before they had a chance to be heard. Yes, sometimes the pain is mightier than the pen, but your pain wielded you to utter silence, leaving your vocal cords on red, counting all the things you should have said, leaving your tongue with this irritating itch that if you'd known your worth back then, by now you could have been rich. I mean, sure, modesty over gluttony, simple earning over abundance of money, but honey, it's time to account for your amount. You've been sharing your fountain of knowledge on discount. Remaining silent at your own expense, intellectual bankruptcy became the consequence. It's time you invest in your equities, and maybe one day your verbal currency will leave a rich man feeling broke just hearing you speak. One day indeed. But for now at school, I think I'm starting to reach some sort of peak, like realizations turned emancipation. So you know what? Bun this senseless self-suppression, roll up a joint out of my letters and get poetically high. Medicinal herbal equilibrium injected. We know how draining diarrhea can be, especially the verbal kind.
Yeah, okay.
We know how draining diarrhea can be, especially the verbal kind. Shit. I should have realized something in my reluctance, that resistance communicates existence. But this is a diatribe to my afflictions. Time to develop an addiction to my addiction, which sometimes be airy, potential to be legendary, except when the air is thick. That's when the verses get a little murky. But it's okay, because not all waters are clear. And I can't steer clear from tribulations. So when I come across the waters that are crystal, I see my journey in ripples, ripples of reflection that reflect introspection, and realize recognition that I've really grown. Well, not literally. But mentally, most definitely. See, most deaf will tell me that my ink's so hot it burns through the journal. Spiritually and lyrically, looking to be eternal. Mind the smoke, and please take some notes, because like Kwali, my language universal, they'll be reciting my quotes. I said, my language universal, they'll be reciting my quotes. And there'll be no thief of my light, come day or night. Or me too says the world's mine if I let my word shine. Don't tone yourself down, she'd say shine. Don't dim the light of your voice, shine. We're like-minded, baby girl, let our voices intertwine. I see now, Hoya, that this is your chance to also be heard, so you too can shine. That me being mute is like me taking a part of your vocal light. How about this, Hoya? You be my moon, I'll be your stars. We'll write sonnets for the world. Our journal can be our palms, illuminating the darkness of this world with our holistic healing holy bars. Now I really see that speaking is spiritual respiration, a sensation of elation. So I'm commencing the migration of my narration until it reaches every damn nation. Even the damned nations need redemption to escape eternal damnation.
Yeah.
So I'll liberate my tongue until its melodies become humankind, freedom songs sung. But first, I will bask in my words as if it really is the sun. Shine like Hoya said, no more being on the run. Remove from the temple the stupid loaded guns. You're more than my doubts. So it's time to let this be undone. And since the pen is mightier than the sword, well then my mind is the fluid bladesmith forging the ink. And since meeting all you wordsmiths, I'm done with what ifs and ready for what is. So I will slice through the sonorous silence with my teeth, brandish all my pens, ready for battles, rap or otherwise, for freedom can be found where speech release lies. And since silence is compliance, well, Somali biting her tongue is downright criminal. Are we damned if I let myself stay invisible? My ability to speak is my right and also traditional. My saliva is my oral ink, and so I'll spit it until my words become immortal. Some will mistake this for arrogance, but really it's overdue due diligence to use my God-given intelligence. So I will speak, I will scream, I will shout, I will write, recite, rewrite, and pour it all out. Thank you. I'm doing this a lot, you know, like I'm about to run out the door, but just getting the nerves out because they're still there for some weird reason. But I'm enjoying myself. You guys are such a lovely presence, so thank you so much. The next one is a piece that I wrote on a hike. So I guess looking back at it, actually, I thought you can interpret it from a literal point of view because we actually climbed a mountain, or you can also like from a metaphorical point of view of what a mountain can represent. In different ways, like a challenge to conquer, or you know, an encouragement to submit your ego. Sometimes the ego can get the better of us, and then you come across a mountain, and it, you know, quietens that ego. So yeah, this is a piece reflecting both the literal journey and I guess the metaphorical journey. This is us. It is a story for everyone. A beginning meets middle meets and going. We keep it moving like the pebbles hitting large waters, we multiply. The mountains like the ripples sending shivers down our spine. See, the natural world is a place without a border. Its aura replacing the chaos from the outside world. Winds gentle with heavy whispering. May you be at ease from within. You feel that? Peace. Yes, it's calling you home. That is real life, you know. We are not these concrete jungles, we are not the dust or rubble, nor the residue of our worldly trouble. We are a community bigger than our confines, but smaller than nature and the divine. To be enclosed in between feels humbling inside, and how about that self-love when you soared above your anxious state of mind? See, we are Muslims mounting mountains and mountains, miracles, magical moments, later metamorphosing into immortal memories made. Armed and soul, locked and loaded, up thigh torturing hills we go. Mighty mountains, the hush to ego, its beauty, boundless, calling us to be our own hero, telling us that when you've reached my summit, know that you have also reached your own. Muslim hikers, not Muslim mountains, that doesn't make any sense. They're called Muslim hikers, but it's an event that everyone can come to from all backgrounds, and it was such a beautiful day because, yeah, it was nice because what they're trying to do is encourage like Muslims from all backgrounds to hike, because when I say to my parents I'm going hiking, they're like, why would you want to do that to yourself? And it's like, well, the outdoors is for everyone. And then there's this, you know, this perception, especially in the Western world, that it belongs to the white man, and that's not true. And that's why I said the natural world is a place without a border, because it's not a place where you can draw a border, irrespective of where you're from. I write sporadically in this book, so I never remember where I've written something, so just bear with me. I want to say the teacher thing right now. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's go with, alright, oh, I haven't said this one. I haven't read this one in a long time. It's for my mum, but it's also dedicated to all Somali mums. At the start I start singing this melody, and it's a tune. The tune is taken from K9's song Blues for the Horn. I don't know if anyone's ever heard it. Do check it out. But he won a Grammys recently, and he's been one of my main and biggest inspiration to write poems and tell stories, especially the stories of our elders, the stories of our ancestors, because especially when you come from a war-torn country and you are, second, third generation, and you've either never seen your country and all you have is stories, it just speaks to the importance of conversation, of asking questions. And this poem, I never actually told the background story of how it even came about, but I was looking at a picture of my mum, I think in the 80s. She was looking fly, had her hair out, she was wearing a blouse, etc., etc. And I was looking at it, and the question that came to my mind is, who were you then? Because I won't know unless I ask her that question. And also, we only know our parents from a parent-child point of view. So this is a dialogue that came from that. Just start before I keep rambling.
It's in the name.
It's in the name, Rambling Wayfarer. That's literally what I came up with his name. I can't stop talking. Okay. This is for our mothers from the home, to who we say, Hoyo. Woo! Hoyo. It just slips off like silk off the soul sprightly tongue. It's not a word, but a place that keeps me young, for it reminds me that I belong to the place daughter. See, I'm the other half of her mum. In Somali, we don't really have another word for daughter. My Hoyo calls me Hoya to remind us that we are one. Together we make the infinity symbol. See, Hoya is what I'd feel if I were to look into a crystal. When I look at her in a frame of her before me, before I was born from me, hung on a wall, a distantly close memory, conversing with future memories to be, as I gaze searchingly into a sealed, secretive and sacred she, I seek to tattoo this image in the frame of my mental chambers and immortalize this divine imagery, because Hoyo, my figurative fig tree, little root of my family, see, it amazes me that even in our most estranged moments in life, when we are each other's strife, as soon as I utter or hear Hoyo, a surgeon named Hope is phoenixing me. A nurse named Heal combs her fingers through my hair. A writer named Remember implores me not to forget. A teacher named Forgive streams poetry through my ears, beckoning my tears to come forth and be caught by the ground I stomped angrily on at you. When you stomp, she would say, you do it to crush me. But no, Hoya, I wish she knew that I was only trying to ground my temper, to turn it into unrecognizable embers, our embers, for this is a character of which we are both members. No, hostages. But I hear Hoyo and I feel free. I hear Hoyo and hear peace. I hear Hoya and taste the honey most sweet. I hear Hoya and feel the vastness of the sea. See affinity and dignity give birth to humility and the possibility to meet God officially, because in Islam you see, heaven lies under the feet of our mothers, and that is why. Hoy day, what a dunya day. Hoy day, what a dunya day. Hoy day, what a dunya day. And so, Hoyo, your name, my birthplace, is the stories I'll forever be telling. Thank you. Those sneak attacks are coming. What am I doing next? Can you tell I'm the kind of over-preparing planner that doesn't actually successfully plan something? This one is called Weather Whatever, and it's a love poem. Or is it? I don't know, you tell me. Let's see where it is. I haven't really looked back at this in a while. I think I shared it, I scratched that. Yeah, but yeah, I'll just actually read it. It's not waffling. I like it. First thing in the morning when I get to spend a little more time in bed, pondering profoundly at what the future holds for us. Because I know full well how my present holds me. With so much vigor and certainty, the past came knocking with pitiable envy. So pitiful it slipped a note under our bedroom door, warningly saying, "Don't jealous me." I like it. When I get dressed and I catch you catching a glimpse of my scars with vast appreciation of the strength it took to survive them. You spoke to me with a distinct look in your eyes that I don't wear my heart on my sleeves but my scars. Gently moisturize over them with my favorite scented lotion titled, "Kill the memory of my hardship with kindness." When you look at me like that, I know I'm your highness. I like it. Ever traversing higher grounds to exceed the bounds of highness royalty and establish our own empire altogether. See, I know that we'll weather whatever the weather, whether we're wearing waterproofs or not, and I love that. Hope is the rope that binds our will to keep afloat, and on this love boat, time will tell time's oldest tales of a hopeful romantic sailing the great Atlantic to merely discover the love that's been trying to get a hold of me, myself, and I. I'll share this one actually, which is a story, I guess, I wrote in the form of a poem. I wrote it because I used to work in Barking, in the school of Barking, and then, do you remember when it snowed? When was the last time it snowed? Whenever the last time it snowed was that time, yeah. I was commuting from Milton Keynes at this point, so I was travelling all the way from MK to Barking, which is a trek. So I'd have to leave around 5:30 in the morning to make sure I got to school on time and still had a bit of time to prepare. So yeah, it was already a bad day weather-wise the day before, and so most of us were like, "Oh, school's probably going to close the next day." But for some reason, they wouldn't tell us when they were going to. We knew it was going to close; it was going to happen, but they wouldn't tell us when it was going to happen. So they decided to send an email when I'm at Euston Square saying, "Oh, school's closed, by the way." And it was heck trying to get in as well because the train was just stuck somewhere for ages, somewhere between Euston and Watford Junction, like you don't even know where you are. So yeah, you can start to feel quite irritated in that moment because you know you have somewhere to be, etc. And then when you, I was feeling quite annoyed. And then on my way back, because I was like, well, now I have to go home, when I got on the train, we got stuck again on the way back. I think I'm going to say where between, but between stations basically, we were just stuck somewhere. But this is what I love about England, is the countrysides and the hills, and it was just coated in snow. And it was so beautiful that in that moment I could not feel anger, I could not feel irritation, like it all just went away. So this wasn't supposed to be a poem, because you know that wasn't supposed to happen that day, but who knows what every day's going to look like. This wasn't supposed to be a poem. I write them out of love. This was initially a product of disappointment. But then I looked up and laughed. I thought, they made a mockery of the concept of communication. But that was on them. What's on me is how I use this sudden cancellation as a window of observation of one of God's finest creations, a painting that no brush wielded by man could ever grasp. But if I just take a minute to pause and breathe, I could grasp this fine painting with my eyes and not my hands, and frame it in the parts of my mind that remind me to just be light. Like snowfall, gentle, like how it lands, pretty, like how it's untouched in the morning. and let these flakes flow over my eyes until its riveting sights lay me to rest under an immeasurable blanket of snow, as if I'm being tucked in before lights out, and so I hopped on the next train back just in time to watch the light rise behind the canvas of snow in the sky, leaving smile lines on every inch of my little face, until my soul became the embodiment of joy, and all I could think was the words I used to feel as a child, swinging so high, counting from 1 to 10, in hopes that at the highest point I'd finally metamorphosed into a mighty eagle and fly, screaming, "Ich bin so blij." Journeying between this gorgeous gorge of white felt like the future prospects of my lover and I exchanging words of wisdom on winter trips to Iceland, where those words trickle onto the empty hills of pearl and we chronicle our life through poetry and stories. The journey was a course on remembering to dream a future that takes course with optimum optimism. The train slowed down, but my thoughts didn't. I could feel the warmth of a fire in that cute cottage I'm yet to sleep in. Yes, much like the one in the holiday. My taste buds bursted into seasonal flavors, hot chocolate for one, while my nose crinkled a smile at the thought of cinnamon. Ah, how I relished these imaginings. The elation the beauty of snow brought was filling, and I drank every drop of it, leaving the rest of you only with these words. Imaginative gluttony, I suppose. See, if sharing really is caring, I took great care of myself en route home, contemplating another kind of home. I sure look forward to buying myself a welcome mat, and you are welcome to buy one with me. Thank you. How much time do you have?
Probably have one more. Go a short one? Or?
Could I do 2 more? Can I be cheeky? Sneak it in, or is that
I think one.
One? Yeah? Okay, I'll do poems. This one is poems that met each other. Put it that way, I guess. Because I wrote the first half, which is a small bit, like a year before the second part came into manifestation. And the second part came into manifestation again on another train journey, because that's been my life the last 2 years. So yeah. Ya Rahman. Ya Rahman. Please alleviate me and my wounded iman. I can't find healing alone, but through your mercy I can. May my actions reflect the wisdom of your beautiful plans for me, so I may try to live them out with pious infinity. My amity lingers intimately, where I may find the affinity to your divinity. See, it is because of you alone that my humanity has shown. Through the fractures of my sorrows and serenity has grown, yet I know that tomorrow is another day I must conquer and own, so please loan me your mercy when my soul seizes in an existential tidal zone. Remove me from the sight of hungry waves and into spiritual safety zones. I'm trying to keep it stepping on these stones, but the cracks in between threaten the journey that I'm on. So how do I cement the voice that has dared to veil yours? The voice of unreason when I call on all fours just to get to your doors. Ya Rahman, please help me pave the way to self-love and above all to your love, for I'm tired of mourning my inner dove. So let me phoenix my way into night and mornings of blissful callings. And as for you guys, Allah painted you another reminder in the sky this morning to remind you of that calling. He communicated in orange hues with streaks of ceramic blue, saying, "Notice me, oh notice me, let me help you to be free, through the valleys, past the seas, so you may have eternal peace." So notice him. Don't forget to look up. Beyond dawn, beyond dusk, in God simply trust. From him there's no such thing as an inner mask. Seek and you shall find, and find that he never left you behind. And it takes time to be found. But to him you were never lost. So I guess you're halfway. But that's it. Just halfway. But since there's no concrete destination on earth, I guess that leaves you with the potential for exponential growth. Something like the speed of light, waiting within to reignite. Oh Lord, where can I find this might to re-establish what is right when wrong has caused me to lose sight of all things pretty in this life? Oh, oh wait, oh, that that is right. You patent painters, galleries, and cosmic signs for us to see. Lush green jungles to help us breathe. Meteorites for our delight. Magic to keep our hope alive. You know, I know we do believe heaven is not a myth to be. Just something slightly out of reach. God's not playing hide and you go seek. He's closer than your jugular vein. Without him, life would be in vain. So, when Allah paints you these constant reminders, don't forget to look up. Beyond dawn, beyond dusk, simply notice him, oh notice him, and unclip your tired, tortured wings. Thank you very much.